Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Revolution from CZT Sandra Chatelain. I hope I pronounced it right. Okay, now this, well, if you're familiar with the Tangle frost flower, this is similar but constructed differently. And actually, I did notice that Sandra had, I think it was called Trivolution or something, with a triangle in the center instead of an orb, which is what we're going to start with. So in the center, of wherever you want it, and I decided, I forgot that I had decided, I'm going to use this as a fill-in, 4 corner dots, and a border. Okay. Because this would be a great fill-in, although, up to your imagination how you might want to do with it. Or what you might want to do with it, how you might want to do it. All right, so now I did need to make one adjustment from Sandra's step out. Apologies, Sandra, but I found that this helped. Because Sandra, this is the first step. But then Sandra has us doing a straight, line coming, from sort of like the center of the orb, and then going around with spokes. What I found, because I just couldn't get, I'd always end up with something weird on this end. So here's what I decided that was helpful. So, it's not really take off and land, but we're going to trace over a little bit of this. So, like the edge of the orb, tracing over. Oh, we're going to go right to the line. That's what I decided to do. So like that. And then turn your tile. And same thing, we're tracing over a little bit of the orb. It's almost like if you can imagine, that, as if there's a flat edge. Well, minusculely, I suppose, there's a flat edge in there somewhere. But you see how I'm doing that, and just tracing over whatever's there. And then, so what's happening is we're basically making big V's. And then, so here was where the problem, it'll work out good. Here's it's fine the way it is. So the issue I was having was I would have, you see I have a gap here, but I wasn't creating an overall triangle, because you can see each of these sections is kind of a triangle. And the last one was more like a rectangle. So then the next step just didn't seem to work. So, and like I said, and I probably could. No, if I couldn't really do, I could do maybe one in the middle, but I don't think we need to. All right. Now, it doesn't matter where you start. And this kind of, I want to say it's also kind of like spoken, but not really. Because spoken, there's some other steps, but, or kind of like but well is going to 4 corners, similar strokes. That's what's so nice about Zentangle, right? Okay, so like I said, doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start in this section here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to aura this line. So it's like whatever section, although I take that back. Wait a minute, let me just think. I'm just thinking, could you do it in the reverse? Probably, but that's up to you to play with. So take a section. I'm going to aura the right hand line, and then working up the line on the left hand like this. And you could do, I'm kind of, I guess I'm using a normal pressure. You could make them lighter if you wish. Of course, it's all completely up to you. Next, and this is the part that's similar to frost flower. Frost flower, it's hard to say, starts off with more of an asterisk versus an orb or a shape, and then trying to, creating the spokes coming off of it. Okay, flip to the next section, same idea, auraing the line on the right, working up the line on the left, You see, I'm going to the pencil line, if you wanted to just do it freehand, and actually like on my version of the step out, you will see that. And well, no, and looking at Sandra's sample, you can see it in some different inceptions, and actually one of the sections, she leaves a gap in here. So there is some fun that you can have is to play with. Let me see if I can do it. Well, it's almost like if she started here, so she left a big gap. But you do take a look at the links there in the description section. And I always do my own version, and so you'll see that there. And then a link, I call it, it should say for more inspiration from the creator of the Tangle, or the Tangle creator. I might have switched it up here or there. But that's where you will find it. And it's just, I think it's neat to, take a look at, the person that created the Tangle. I just think it's neat to see it in their hand. And I always want to make sure to provide that. Because of that. So this is a really neat one that you can just get lost in. Because we're just doing, it's so repetitive, after you get it all set up, right? And then you just can lose yourself in, following your pen line and working to make sure that it stays consistent, that your hand behaves, the pen behaves, all of that. Although with this, when you have something like this, and if you're working in a bigger area, make sure to, you might need to take a hand stretch break, because I know I'll start getting the death grip on the pen, like as if it's going to run away. Well, although, sometimes, I call it when you get the dropsies, and everything's just flying out of your hands. I mean, so it can happen, but, and then also with that, like an eyeball break. So that way, lift your head up, look at something across the room, and focus your eyeballs on it every so often. Like I said, especially when you're doing something like this, where you don't have to look at anything. You're just doing this. Don't have to think. It's perfect. Breathe. It's good to remember all of those things. All right. So there we have it. And see, it fits in really neat when you're putting it in a section. Okay, now, for some shading, let's do, you know what, I want to play, I'm playing with some other pencils. Let's play with them. Okay. This is a 9B. So I'm putting the graphite right where, where on the line that I was working up. I should have done the four corners in the border with this, but that's okay. I will. I can always go over it if need be. All right, then. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Let's bring that out. Look at how that just curves. It bends it down underneath the other. Oh, just wow. If you're new to me, I get really excited over the shading and all and other magic that happens with Zentangle. Not being an artist, I mean, art escaped me until Zentangle was introduced to me by my mom. 12 years ago, yeah. And it just never gets old. Being able to create something like that just has these folds. It's so neat. I am going to go over this. I think I'm going to take it out to the outside because I don't have a lot of room. And I don't want to get the graphite remorse. So let's just shade this to the outside. Really cool. Oh, and heck, maybe it'll turn that center. We could make it solid and put a little shine in it. I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. Sometimes it doesn't want to move. And I'll tell you, if you depending on what you're working on, and this is a Zentangle original tile, and usually, it's toothy enough, and well, this could be getting packed up. Maybe that's the problem, because I don't like it when I can see the pencil line. So sometimes I find if I put the Tortillion on more of an angle, then the grooves are catching the graphite and moving it. So if you're working on I found like the smoother paper, it seems to do that too. Like just like cardstock, because we worked on cardstock I'll still do sometimes for a long, just because, and it's really smooth, and that just seemed to help. Plus, knowing that, and it's always good to test it, but knowing that to kind of go a little bit lighter. With the pencil, don't dig in, so that way it doesn't do that. Okay, I just feel the need to fill this in, but we're gonna plant some shine here, and this is what I like to do, so that way I don't have to come back with the white jelly roll, or it doesn't matter, jelly roll, or what's the other? It'll come to me. Any brand of gel pen, that's white. Signo, that's it. Well, I left that kind of thin, but let's shave off a little of this at the top, at the bottom. That's why I put those two lines in there, so I can kind of create that crescent. This could be smaller too. And then you're making these things bigger than you think, because that way then you can always take off some like that until you have it the way you want it. And you could go back and add gel pen to it if you wish, to make it more brilliant. But this is just a nice way to be able to have the effect and not have to carry around a bunch of tools. It's kind of like if you're stranded on a desert island, what tools would you grab? And this way you could leave without your gel pen. It would be okay, because there's, because that's an alternative. Oh gosh, really neat. I'm still seeing that down here. All right, well, if you have enjoyed this, and I hope you did, would love it if you click on the like button, and then if you liked it enough to see more, well, that sort of got rid of it, just a little. If you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section for the step out links, but also there below that is my Linktree link, and there you will find everything else. So if you want to follow me, follow my blog, you can click on to go to my website, and then on the right hand side is a place to put your email to follow my blog. If you want to follow me for classes, there are some links there to Eventbrite and Meetup, and let's see, Facebook. So I post on those three places primarily right now, so you could follow any of them. And if you do happen to be on Facebook and want to join in on our fun community, there's a link there also for our Tangle Addicts community group on Facebook. Know that there are 4 questions you have to answer in order to gain entry. I just like to let you know that, because I hate clicking the decline button. But I just assume that, it's, I think sometimes it's, I don't know, people that really don't want to be there, or, they because it's, on occasion I'm like, oh, well, they just didn't do that one, and then it seems like then the next day there's like spam. It's like, all right, nope, just gotta follow those rules. So anyway, so they're there to, not just for that, although that is a big thing, but to kind of explain the site, because it's funny, because I'll go to sites, maybe you do this too, and it's like, join the group. Will you follow all the rules? Well, I don't know what the rules are, so I don't know if I want to agree to them. And for a while I had, do you agree to go look at the rules and read them and remove yourself if you don't like them? And it just sounded bad. And then I decided, you know what, I can put other things there. So that's why I have that stuff there. Plus it's informational, just to guide you to a couple places if you decide to join the group. Like the welcome email that I have automatically happening on Sunday evenings. And, in that welcome email has some information, about, here's what we do, and here's where you can find information and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope you join us. And let's see, I can't think of anything else. I've been blathering on for a little bit. So thank you for listening to my blathering, and thanks for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.